Hello everybody, it's Solve It with Carter, and today on my first video I'll be going over the chain rule, how to do it in 5 minutes, and to do it in 3 easy steps. So we'll go over a brief overview of what we need to learn today. So initially you should already kind of know the power rule here. So that would be the derivative of x raised to the n is equal to n times x raised to the n minus 1. And the chain rule here, which is the main point of the video, is the derivative of f of g of x is equal to the derivative of g of x times the derivative of that f of g of x that we originally have. So it looks a little bit confusing, so we'll go into the first example to really just see how this works. So for our first example, we have the derivative of 5x plus 3 raised to the fifth power. So initially you might think you could solve this by, say, doing the chain rule of 5 times 5x plus 3 raised to the fourth power. But unfortunately that is not correct, because what we're really seeing here is 5x plus 3 written out 5 times. So this would not be the correct answer for that, so we'll go ahead and X that out. So for the first step in my 3-step process, we will always derive the inside, and this just helps you simplify and makes it so you can remember this in 3 steps. So the derivative of 5x plus 3, using the power rule, you just end up with a 5. And then the second step, we'll be doing the outside, so this parentheses portion. So the derivative of the parentheses raised to the 5, using the power rule again, is 5 times whatever's inside the parentheses raised to the fourth. So then for the third step in the process, we'll be combining step 1 and step 2 and multiplying them together. So we have the 5 here, multiplying times this, the original function inside. So 5 times 5 times 5x plus 3 raised to the fourth power. And this will get us a final solution of 25 times 5x plus 3 raised to the fourth power. So this is a bit of a simple problem, but a good intro into the subject of the chain rule. Now for the second example, we have a trigonometric function, so sine of x squared. And since this is an x squared and not just a regular x, you can't just do the normal derivative of cosine, and you have to use the chain rule here. So again, we'll go back to this inside function, x squared, very simple derivative, equals to 2x. Now for the second step, the outside, just the sine portion, the derivative of sine, as I said earlier, is cosine. And now for the third step, you combine the two together, and you'll end up with 2x times cosine to the x squared. So pretty straightforward once you kind of understand the functions within the functions. And now for our last step. This can look a little bit tricky at first, especially if you're not used to deriving a square root, because it kind of looks confusing at first, but what you have to remember is this really is just a function raised to the 1/2 power, so you can still use the power rule. But for now, we'll do the inside function first. So 5x cubed plus 3x minus 17, derivative of that is 15x squared plus 3. Now for the second step, the outside function, the 1/2 I referenced over here, you bring the 1/2 down, subtract by 1, and you end up with 1/2 times the inside minus 1/2. Now for steps 3, we will combine those. So multiply this 1/2 times that, and then multiply that times the middle parentheses raised to the negative 1/2. And here, since this looks a little convoluted, we can clear it up, and we keep this 15x plus squared, or 15x squared plus 3 on the top, and we keep the 2 on the bottom as normal. And since this is a negative 1/2, we can rewrite the square root and move it to the bottom to solve it. So I hope this helped learn the chain rule, helped you learn the chain rule a little bit better. And let me know any recommendations for any future math topics. I love to do videos about math and engineering. And leave me like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thank you.